Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to USA versus Europe Guide to Cultural Differences. This is the same channel that I reacted to a few days ago, and it was yesterday, but I think because I'm posting videos all over the place, it might have been posted a few days ago from when you're seeing it. But this guy's from the Czech Republic, so he's from Central/Eastern Europe, so it's quite a bit different to the UK. But I feel like the UK is probably a mesh of the two. Probably more similar to Europe because it is in Europe, but maybe more similar to the US in certain ways as well. So this is probably going to be new to me, but maybe it will be more similar than I actually realise. I don't know. But I'm travelling to Eastern Europe soon, in just over a week pretty much. And yeah, I mean, I'm going with my girlfriend, so it's fine because she's from the country, so I'll be good. But yeah, maybe this will make me learn a thing or two about going there, but I've already been before, so I don't know what I'm saying. But we're going to check this out, hopefully going to enjoy. And yeah, we're going to see the differences. I assume it's going to go into things like tipping and stuff. I don't know how it is in Eastern Europe, how tipping is, because there's probably quite a lot of tourists there, so maybe it's seen as a thing that's quite common, but I'm not too sure. But we're going to check this out. Links are in the description to my Patreon if you want to see some more of my reactions, but let's just jump into this.
Hey there, we are guides from Prague, Czech Republic, and this is one of our favorite pubs. But somebody just recently left a nasty review complaining about the fact that the waiter simply asked them, "You want a beer?" The waiter brought the beer, and then once the person was finished, they brought another beer. And this guy was complaining about it. What is he talking about? That's the best thing. Once you're finished with your beer, they bring another one. So for me, from the perspective of a Czech European, that's a good sign. For an American, that may be kind of weird or rude. So today we want to talk about cultural differences between our country, our city, and United States of America. First of all, you may be surprised what the beer looks like. Well, we have a video dedicated only to that. And second, when I walked in, I didn't look at a beer menu or something that may be quite common in the United States where you have different beers on tap. Most pubs and restaurants in Czech Republic will have one brewery on tap in the pub. So that's why you can walk in and just say, "I'll have one."
Oh, so it's just the same beer?
So I kind of like that. You walk into a pub and you don't have a million choices, you just say one. In US, not only you have a choice of beers that are on tap, quite often there's 5, 10.
Well, this is one thing that's a lot more similar to the US with the UK then. In the UK, you're getting all kinds of things that you can get. All types of beers, different. I mean, I don't know the difference. I don't like beer. I flipping hate it, to be honest. I think it's nasty. I can't even enjoy it when I'm drunk. I'd rather just have a straight shot of whiskey or something, because it's just like, okay, I'm not going to get too bloated from this and I'm just going to get drunk quicker. But I'm not a fan of beer, but a lot of people here are, and you're going to get all kinds of drinks. Maybe not this many. Actually, no, you would, because you get ciders, you get all kinds of mixtures of things.
10, 20, but also they will ask you, do you want draft or bottle? What kind of question is that? The reason you go to a pub is to get beer on tap, to get draft beer. If you want bottled beer, you go to a supermarket.
Yeah,
so for us,
fair.
that's a big cultural difference that quite often we don't understand.
Part of the fun having it in a cup, and you get probably more flavour. I mean, when I drink stuff from a bottle, I feel like, I don't know, you don't get as much flavour. But
now a beer here costs 55 crowns. Let's call that $2.50 to round it up. If you go to a stadium, to a sports event here in Prague, it's going to cost around $3.
Not much more.
Well, nothing like that in US. If you go to a pub, it may cost $5, $6, and you go to a stadium, and it can cost $10, $15.
Yeah, it's the same. I mean, you can't drink beer in the stadium in the UK. Say you're going to a football game, you're not allowed to drink beer when you're out in the stadium. You have to drink it whilst you can buy it when you're inside the stadium, but you can't drink it when you're outside. It's strange. And it's expensive as well. I don't know if it's $15. Again, I don't drink beer, but I know it's pricey. Food's pricey, all that kind of stuff, but maybe not that high.
Even $20. Honza hates it. Whenever he goes to a sports event, he's always shocked with the price of the beer. I myself, when I travel to US, I usually don't go to sports events, but I like amusement parks. And just recently, I visited Universal Studios. It was the most expensive beer I ever had in my life. $15. I could not believe it.
Damn.
Now, I understand that going to amusement park, you don't go there for beer, you go there for the rides, but still $15? Dude, it was insane. Why did I do that? Also, fun fact, I did not take a picture of the beer, but I did take a picture of the receipt.
Oh, you got the tax as well. God damn.
Now, the price of the beer, as I said, at the amusement park was $15, but I was asked to pay more than $16. Why? It said 15. Well, tax was not included. What is this about? We go to a place, and I'm not only talking restaurants, but any store, shop, and the price tag is the final price you pay. It says 55 here, it's gonna cost 55. They include the tax. Why don't you do that in US? It's just sad. I mean, imagine me, I'm 11 years old, I have my first dollar ever, and I walk into a dollar store, looking forward to buy something for $1. I pick up the item, go to the register, $1.50. What? It's a dollar store, everything costs $1, not dollar store plus tax. Now let's switch from drinks to food.
That would confuse me, but if you've lived there for so long, it makes sense. But as someone going there for the first time, I mean, I know it now, but it would have confused me if I hadn't checked this stuff out. And it still would be like, oh, damn, I've paid this, and now I've got to pay an extra, 5% or whatever it is.
In any place, you 10%. Can get some food, right?
Oh, that looks good.
Mostly you pick something from the menu, and no further questions will be asked. Well, in US, quite often they will ask you how you want to customize. Do you want bacon? Do you want that cheese? Do you want this cheese? Do you want this or that and that? It gets quite confusing for us. And you can imagine me being 11 years old in US, in New Jersey, first walking to a restaurant, ordering a burger, very much looking forward to it. And they asked me, how do you want your burger done? I said, I don't know, very
Is there ways to do burgers?
well done, thinking that they would make it completely. Yeah, you can imagine what happened. They brought this black piece of meat that was unedible. And all my friends had a laugh about it. Now, to be fair, if you go to a restaurant in Prague nowadays and you will have a burger, they will ask you how you want it done.
I've never had a question of how I want my burger done in my life. I don't know how to answer it. Just make it done just make sure it's cooked. Maybe it crispy, please. It's not steak, is it? You don't want your burgers undercooked, or is that a thing?
But once again, the fact that you can customize anything at a restaurant in US is very uncommon for us here. So if you come to a pub or a restaurant in Czech Republic, don't expect that you can customize every single item on the menu. That's why there's a menu with things that you pick from. I really hope we didn't lose our subscribers from United States. We love you guys. So to say something that we consider to be amazing in US that we don't have here is water. Free water at a restaurant, at a bar, anywhere.
You get free tap water. I don't even know. I never really pay attention to it. If you get tap water, it'll be free. I'm almost certain. But then if you want bottled water, it's obviously going to cost. But I think that's the same as anywhere, right?
You sit down at a table, and in US, you get a glass of.
I think it depends where you go. Some places I can't remember, but from based off what I know, it's free here. But I feel like maybe it's costed. Some places it costed money. But I think more times than not, it will be free in the UK as well.
Water never happens in the Czech Republic ever. Not only that, if you ask for tap water, quite often they will say, no, we don't serve tap water. And you will get a tiny little bottle of water that you will pay for $2, $3, $4. It's ridiculous. I know a restaurant where I go to, and I will always say, can I get tap water? And they're like, no, we can't do that. We can only sell you.
That's so weird. Like, yeah, I can definitely compare this to the UK, actually, because I've asked for water, and they'll ask you, do you want tap water or do you want bottled water? And I'll say tap water. And then it is free. So no, based off that is wild. You're not even allowed the option.
About it. And I quite often say, I'll pay you the same price that I'll pay for the bottle for tap water. Like, no, we can't do that. Crazy. Why did we cut to here, where we are here thanks to our partner, which is Surfshark VPN. We're actually on the border with Germany.
Why does that keep popping up? I hate it so much. Surfshark, come on, get in his money, and you can't go against the VPN, man. I might need one when I go away soon, so maybe I'll keep this in mind if he wants to start again.
Service in restaurants and pubs, because that may be a bit of a shock for you when you come to
What's happened here then? What has happened here?
Yes, quite often it is rude and not polite.
Come on, man. What is going on? Put it on 720 then. My Wi-Fi is that bad.
is rude and not polite at all. That's also a huge difference for us when we go to US and a waitress will come to our table and she will introduce herself and she will smile and she will maybe recommend something from the menu. That would never happen here. I mean, it's changing, don't get me wrong. Service is getting better, but if you go to like a local place, a dive bar, which I would consider this place to be, quite often they'd be grumpy and it takes a long time for them to get to know you, and after maybe a 20th visit, they will share a little smile with you. Not like in US. First time visitor, oh, I love coming you to our restaurant. My name is Wendy. Can I take your order? Hey, Wendy. Speaking of Wendy, when I was first called darling or honey in a restaurant in US, I was like, she really loves me. She just called me darling. I like that. I mean, I like the bartender here, but he never calls me darling. Let's make it stay that way, okay? We're tough guys. Even though the two of us consider the service at places in the United States very good and very nice and very polite, there is one thing that we consider to be very rude. And that is, you're finishing your meal or maybe you're
I think I know what he's saying here. He's going to say taking it away or like them asking you.
halfway through and suddenly a bill lands on your
That's never happened.
table. What is that? Are you kicking me out? That would never happen here.
You get the bill whilst you're still eating your food. What?
Any business, restaurant, pub, coffee place tries to keep you in the place as long as possible. You're done with your meal,
They'll ask you for dessert.
they'll offer you a dessert.
Yeah.
You're done with your dessert, they will offer you coffee. You're done with your coffee, maybe you want to start over and have another appetizer. In other words, they want to keep you in as long as possible. You have to ask for the bill. In
I guess it's efficiency, right? You just want them in and out and more people in, you know?
US, very often, you're halfway through, here's your bill. I'm like, well, maybe I want another something. No, the bill is already on the table. Just weird. Speaking of the bill, let's dive into tipping. And that can create some big issues because that's a big cultural difference. In US, quite often we get asked, do you want to tip 15, 18, 20, 25%? Which for us is like, whoa, that's a lot. A quarter of the bill just tips because it's a tip-based country or tip-based business. In Czech, that used to be very, very different. I mean, my dad would only round up the bill to the next higher number. If the bill was 99, he would round it up to 100. I believe most of our dads and mothers still do that. Nowadays, it's changing even here, and tipping goes from 10% higher if you're satisfied with the service. If the service is really bad, some people will simply not tip. If that would happen in US, that you would not leave a single cent on a tip, I've experienced
What would happen then?
people running out of the restaurant and be like, what happened? What did we do wrong? Like, why did you not tip? So tipping is very, very different, and I'm curious what you will say about that in the...
So say someone went to a US restaurant and just didn't tip and they refused to do it. What would happen then? Because like, that's part of their paycheck, you know. That's the money that because they earn less, and in return they get tips and stuff. So like, it's not like, I guess it's not, you don't have to tip, but it's like common courtesy, and if you don't, you're a bit of a, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's not good. It's not good to not tip anywhere, but especially in countries where the wage is reliant on certain tips and all that.
Comments, whatever country you're from, I want to read what's the average tipping in your country. Now, this cultural difference is not only huge, but I consider it to be evil, and that is packaging and garbage in general. I'm not talking about if you go to a place where it's a takeout or you go to a fast food. Yes, they put it in a paper bag, either if you're in US or here. But I'm talking about if you go to a restaurant and they create so much garbage, so much waste, even though you're at a restaurant. Quick example. Mostly if you get a drink at a bar in the US, they put a napkin under it, so it soaks the moist that's running under it. Well, that's for one use only. Afterwards, they will throw away the napkin. How about they use coasters?
Yeah.
Because you can reuse the coaster. And that's
Wait,
just
are coasters not... Surely coasters are a thing there, though.
one very simple example. Another one is, if you order a ketchup at this place, they will bring it, either a bottle, some places in the US do that too, or they put it in a ceramic cup that they clean afterwards. Not that they grab 20 ketchups and throw them.
Oh mate, I hate ketchup. I don't like ketchup anyway. I hate sauces that are in these things because they're so hard to get out. Some places just like that though. Some places in England you get that as well, but it's just like bit of a waste, isn't it? And I feel like you can't even get all the sauce out half the time. I mean, you probably can, but it's just like, just get me a bowl, man.
Next to your burger, or even in McDonald's in Czech Republic, you pay for every single tiny packaging of any sauce, any ketchup. So you think about if you want one or two. In US, yeah, can I get some ketchup? Here you go, here's a million ketchups in tiny little bags. No, don't do that. I mean, you guys are going all Michael Bay packaging, like, hey, yeah, that's a plastic bag, let's put it in a paper bag, and let's put more packaging and pack it up. You want it to go? Yeah, let's pack it up more. Whew. Meanwhile, in Europe, yeah, let's get rid of plastic straws. They really destroy the universe. There's gonna be one hell of a discussion under this video. I absolutely love you guys from US, and I love going to US, just so you know. We both do. Please don't cancel my ESTA. Now let's drop the beer for a minute, and let's talk about coffee and coffee culture differences between
I don't drink coffee, so I'll stand out of this one.
USA and Europe. Triggered already? Well, you'll get triggered more. Yes, in Europe, we do not consider this to be a cup of coffee. That's a gallon of coffee. If it's more than a gallon, it's not coffee. This is a cup of coffee. By the way, shocker, they have a cup of coffee in this pup. It's served in a ceramic cup. It's this size. You have a plate under it. It makes that little noise when you put it down. You sometimes even get a spoon with it so you can mix your little espresso. And this is how you drink it. Not a gallon. Doesn't fit in your car so you can drive and sip on your little coffee soup throughout the day. Big difference, big shocker for us when we go to places in
Surely
US.
you have Starbucks in Czech Republic though, or Eastern Europe. I mean, you do, but I guess maybe the sizes just aren't as big.
And they
To be fair, I've never had a coffee. I don't drink coffee, but from coffee places you can get other drinks. I've never seen any that big. That is, and I've seen it before. They are huge cups for like iced coffees and stuff. Like they're massive.
Please don't serve something like this. Hold your horses. I know that coffee culture in US is changing depending on which state you live in, if you live in a city and so on, but still mostly people think this is coffee and you cannot get this.
Wait, how big?
Still mostly people think this is coffee.
100. Oh my god, look at this size.
And you cannot get this. It's sad for us Europeans. Can I get a cup of coffee? You want Venti Grande, Grande XL, Grande XXXXL, like the Italians drink it? Whoa, 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 whoa. Now this next cultural difference may sound weird, but I believe it should be addressed. And that is restrooms and toilet sizes in restaurants and pubs. And I'm not talking about the actual seat size, but I'm talking about you have a big pub and there's one toilet. There's like one restroom for the entire pub where there's like hundreds of people. And the stalls where you can like sit to do number two are very like see-through. Like there's no privacy. Like there's
I would absolutely hate that.
no door at the bottom. Like if somebody peeks, they can see you. Yeah, it's kind of strange. And girls talk about that a lot. Both our girls talk about it, how like it's kind of weird that people can't really see you. So that's a big difference. If there's a big pub here, it has many restrooms, many toilets, and it can, you know, do the business people need and accommodate many people at the same time. And of course, the ones we mentioned are not the only cultural differences between our continents. There's many more. We can talk about different units. We can talk about different forms of transportation, how we move around.
Oh, Eastern Europe loves a tram. They love trams, don't they? And they're useful. I mean, there's trams in Manchester and England, but there's not really trams in many major cities here, I'm pretty sure. But when I went to Vienna, there is. When we've gone to Romania before, there's there, and obviously in Czech Republic. But yeah, trams they are like the main function of a lot of cities in Eastern Europe, aren't they? And maybe just Europe in general. I'm not too sure. I don't think in like Western Europe, but Eastern Europe for sure.
Around cities and countries, how big are our cars and your cars, and many more topics. So let us know in the comments if you want.
Well, I feel like the UK is probably closer to Europe, but it's definitely, again, like I said at the start, a mesh of the two, because sometimes some of these things the UK is definitely more similar to, but absolutely no one can make me watch the same video twice. Oh, what's that new video? So in Czech Republic, they refill your beer automatically. In the US, you have your waiter asking you if you want to order another drink nearly 10 seconds after you finish your first one. And here in France, where you have to wave at your waiter for 10 minutes and hopefully catch his attention. That's probably how it is in the UK as well. Oh man, I live in France and a few aspects of this video don't apply here. There's usually several beer on tap in France, and bottled beer is served even though people prefer on tap. I mean, yeah, I think anyone can have the option here as well. We have free water in France too. Tipping is not common in France. It's something you do if you had a really, really great time at a restaurant and if you have some cash to spare. I feel like the UK is probably similar to France and a lot of that as well. True story. A friend of ours went to Europe, ordered a coffee and got an espresso in a tiny cup. He complains that the cup is too little, and the counter guy obliges him and serves him a big cup of espresso. Couldn't sleep at all that night. Listen. Yeah, I'm very caffeine sensitive, which is partly the reason why I don't drink it, but that sounds like hell. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this reaction, and yeah, if you want more of this stuff, if you have interest in this channel, obviously you can check it out in the description. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this, and until next time, I subscribe, and peace.